hasn't always played the ukulele. He was a jazz guitarist for many, many years. And about 6 years ago, he was in this shop, an ukulele shop. And he took down an ukulele and started playing, and everybody got all excited. Was that 6 years ago? I think it was 6 years ago. And somebody asked the shop owner if they ever knew of Bill Tapia. And the shop owner said, you know, I think I heard of him, but I think he's dead. And Uncle said, what? Wait a minute, I'm Bill Tapia. And that's when he started playing the ukulele for the second time. He played the jazz guitar in the mainland for over 50 years, and this is his first time back to New York in 70 years. So we're really grateful.
See you next year.
If you can tell our friends how you first started to play the ukulele.
Well, when I was 7 years old, I lived in a place in Honolulu, Hawaii, called Sereno Lane. And every night of the week, all these Hawaiian guys would sit outside there and sit on tree logs that they cut from trees. They use that for chairs, and play Hawaiian music, smoke cigarettes, and drink that cheap booze like Okolehau, dirt pavements, no street lights. And I hear this music every night of the week. So I went out there, see, they just played right across from my house. One night I went over there and I watched a ukulele, and he fascinated me. The ukulele player, a small instrument. And when they took intermission, he laid the instrument down like this, and I picked it up. And I managed to learn 2 chords by watching him. So the leader of the group was a big fat Hawaiian guy. He had a stomach like a beer barrel. His stomach was way out like this, and he'd play his guitar like this, on his stomach. And he said, he was a leader and a good musician. He said, where did you learn that, kid? I said, I was watching that guy. He says, you want to learn to play it? I said, yeah. He said, come over to my house tomorrow. So I went home, I couldn't sleep. Thinking, oh boy, I'm going to learn to play the ukulele. So I told my mother, I said, I'm going to Jim's house and he's going to teach me the ukulele. My mother said, no, you can't go. She said, because we ain't got no money for music lessons. I said, no, he's going to do it for me. He don't want money. So I went there, and the guy, when he saw me, he says, where's your uke? I said, I haven't got one. You loan me yours. He said, no, I can't do that. You have to have one in your possession, because when I give you the lesson, you have to practice every day. He said, you think your mom would buy your uke? I said, I have 75 cents home, saving a coffee can. He said, I don't know what you can do with that, but you go around and see Nunes. Nunes was the first ukulele maker in the islands, and he lived right around the corner from where we live. But when he mentioned that guy, Nunes, I got scared because I didn't like that guy. Because he was a mean old man. He didn't like kids. We would sit outside of his stone wall and play when I was a kid, and he would come out and wet the grass so we wouldn't hang out there. But I wanted to learn to play the ukulele that bad. I didn't care what happened or what it was. So I went to his house. He did all his work in a big basement. He had a 2-story house. So when he saw me, he was surprised to see a kid there. He said, what are you doing here, kid? I said, Mr. Jim told me come over here, and I want to buy an old ukulele that don't cost too much money. So he picked a couple of them from the wall, and he strummed a couple of chords. And I didn't know a damn thing about the ukulele. He says, "How you like that?" I said, "Good." I wanted to get the hell out of there quick. I was afraid of that guy. So he says, "Give me $1.25. And I had these 75 cents in my hand. I said, "No, 75 cents. He said, "Give me that 75 cents and get the hell out of here."
You know, and what is really utterly amazing is that we are part of an ukulele revolution going on now. I think bigger than the 20s ever were. I mean, it's that big. And here we are talking to a guy relating to Manuel Nunes. You know, things that we don't even hear about or read about in the books.
So one day when I was about 6, you see, I played in vaudeville. Well, first of all, I played the ukulele in World War I in 1918, just when the war was taken down. And then when I was 12 and a half, I played in vaudeville. Then when I was 16, I didn't like vaudeville no more. I wanted to work with bands, so I took up guitar. But one day, I was playing in a taxi stand with these Hawaiian boys. Those taxi drivers in those days, they dressed just the way I'm dressed right now. They dress up good, and they had good cars like Packard Twin Sixes, Cadillacs, Buicks. So I used to go down there and jam with these Hawaiian boys. They were good musicians. When they didn't have a load, they jammed right downtown in the heart of town. So this guy, the orchestra leader from the Moana Hotel, and he was a reputable Hawaiian composer, happened to be passing. And he heard this music, and he heard me play the ukulele. He said, "Where do you learn to play like that, kid?" And I told him all about myself. And he said, "Gee, I wish you knew how to play the banjo." Because, see, banjo was the code those days for a rhythm instrument with a band. He said, "I wish you knew how to play banjo because I'm going to need a banjo player. My banjo player is leaving the band." I lied to him. I said, "I play the banjo." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Come up Wednesday night rehearsal." This was on 10th Avenue in Kaimoki. So I went crazy. I went to every pawn shop, looked for a banjo. So I found a beat up one with love writing on it and everything, $16. So I bought that, and without him knowing, I tuned the banjo like a ukulele. So it had the sound of a banjo. He didn't know. I went to that audition, and those days, most of the players, they just play rhythm, just play chords. And I played melody and everything. Oh, he went crazy. He said, "You're right on." So I got the job. Then after I began to learn the banjo the right way, the tenor key, you tune it something